Chosen one, hear this. Harvard University has called you for a speech. Not the professors, not the politicians, not the billionaires. You, because heaven marked you with a wisdom this world cannot purchase, a fire no intellect can manufacture. The gates of the most prestigious halls are opening, not because of your resume, not because of connections, but because God himself has decreed that your voice must be heard. This is not coincidence. This is not human favor. This is prophecy manifesting. The stage that nations revere has been prepared for you, for your words carry the fragrance of eternity. Your very presence has become a message. When the invitation came, it was not just Harvard reaching out. It was heaven announcing, now is the time. Step forward, chosen one. The scripture declares in Proverbs 18, verse 16, a man's gift makes room for him and brings him before the great. And now that word is living reality in your life. The gift inside you, divine wisdom, unshakable truth, eternal vision, is what placed you in their spotlight. This moment is proof that God himself has carved out space for you where only the great are summoned. So do not shrink, do not question, do not look around wondering why you. For the answer is simple, because you are chosen, and the world must hear what heaven placed inside you. Chosen one, close your eyes for a moment and imagine it. The crimson banners waving in the autumn wind, the marble steps polished by centuries of history, the lecture halls where world leaders once sat as restless students, the oak podium standing beneath vaulted ceilings, waiting for a voice that can shift the atmosphere. And now, it is your name echoing there, not as a visitor, not as a spectator, but as the one called to speak. The same corridors that have carried the footsteps of presidents and pioneers will carry yours. The same microphones that once amplified the voices of visionaries now wait for the sound of your words. Words not born of intellect, but divine revelation. The hush of expectation will fill the room, not because of who you are on paper, but because of who you are in the spirit. See it clearly. Professors leaning forward, students wide-eyed, reporters scribbling as if history itself has paused to listen. But what they are receiving is not human wisdom. It is not a lecture crafted from textbooks. It is the eternal breath of heaven woven into your sentences. They will not leave with notes alone. They will leave with transformation. For when heaven chooses a vessel, even the proudest institutions bow. The spotlight does not belong to vanity. It belongs to destiny. And destiny has singled you out. The Lord has clothed you with wisdom this world cannot decode, and Harvard has become the stage for its unveiling. Stay with me, chosen one, because in a moment, I will reveal why this call is more than an invitation. It is proof of your destiny, evidence that the highest places on earth recognize the light you carry. Chosen one, understand this. The invitation is not about prestige. It is about prophecy fulfilled. Scripture itself testifies that God raises his people to places where the world listens. Daniel 1 verse 17 declares, God gave knowledge and understanding of all kinds of literature and learning. Daniel and his companions stood out not because of training alone, but because God himself placed wisdom within them. And so it is with you. Isaiah 60 verse 3 proclaims, nations will come to your light, and kings to the brightness of your rising. Do you see it? When Harvard's call reached you, it was not simply a human institution extending an invitation. It was a fulfillment of Isaiah's vision, the powerful being drawn to the light of God that burns within you. The highest places cannot ignore heaven's signal. They must respond. This is why you have been summoned, not to entertain, not to impress, but to release divine wisdom in a space built for human brilliance. To prove that the wisdom of God is higher, brighter, and more enduring than any philosophy of man. Harvard's call is heaven's confirmation that you carry something eternal. And now, chosen one, the response rests with you. Will you embrace this destiny? Will you declare boldly that you accept the call? This is not about waiting for the stage. It is about aligning your spirit now. The way you respond in this moment is the seed for the doors that will open tomorrow. If you desire to stand as one of the first chosen ones, those called to speak where the world listens, then this is your moment. Click the join button below. That simple act is not casual. It is a declaration. By joining, you say to heaven and to earth, I accept the call. I am ready to carry divine wisdom to the highest places. Do not hesitate. Every great movement begins with a step of faith. Harvard's call is proof that your gift has made room for you before the great. Now, let your agreement seal it. Click join today and step into the identity heaven has written for you. Chosen one, listen carefully. When heaven calls, it does not only transform your spirit, it rewrites your very body to carry the weight of the assignment. You cannot step onto stages of destiny with the heaviness of yesterday. That is why, even now, your body is shifting under divine command. Your voice carries a new resonance. No longer weary, no longer uncertain, but strong, clear, and irresistible. When you speak, it is not mere sound. It is a vibration that shakes the atmosphere. People who thought they were just hearing a talk will feel their very bones stir with conviction. This is why doors open for you. Not because of eloquence alone, but because your voice carries eternity. Look at your eyes. They are no longer dimmed by fatigue, no longer clouded by doubt. They burn with clarity, like twin flames reflecting the wisdom of heaven. In every glance there is conviction. Professors who have read thousands of books will find themselves undone by a single look, because your eyes testify of a library far older than Harvard's archives, the living knowledge of God. Even your skin responds to this call. The dullness that once came from stress is lifting. A glow, not of cosmetics, but of consecration, begins to rise. Your face radiates the peace of Psalm 34, verse 5. They looked to him and were radiant. Their faces shall never be ashamed. That radiance is not metaphorical. It is cellular. Heaven is testifying for your countenance. Your posture shifts too. Shoulders lifted, spine aligned, step steady. No more dragging feet, no more bent frame. You walk as one appointed, not begging for space, but carrying space with you. Even silence becomes a sermon when you stand in a room. The presence of God upon you is weight enough to command attention. And your energy, O chosen one, your energy is being renewed. Fatigue that once settled in your afternoons is breaking. Stiffness in your joints gives way to ease. The breath that once came heavy now flows like wind through an open field. Psalm 18, verse 33 declares, He makes my feet like the feet of a deer. He causes me to stand on the heights. That promise is alive in your body. You move not with struggle, but with grace, as if heaven itself is carrying you. Even unseen systems are shifting. Your heart beats with steadiness, not fear. Your nervous system, once overloaded by stress, is calming under divine order. Your mind no longer runs in anxious loops, but flows with clarity. This is not adrenaline. It is alignment. This is heaven's life force, steady yet unstoppable, filling every cell, commanding your body to reflect your calling. Why? Because even Harvard, a fortress of intellect, cannot resist the light inside you. Your body has become the evidence. The professors will see it in your glow. The students will feel it in your presence. The leaders will sense it in your authority. And none will be able to deny, this is not human, this is divine. Chosen one, you are not preparing for the stage in vain. Heaven has already begun the rehearsal within your very frame. Every breath is proof. Every step is prophecy. Every word you release carries the weight of eternity. And soon, when you stand beneath the crimson banners, they will not applaud your appearance, but the power of the Spirit radiating through your body. Chosen one, understand this clearly. What is unfolding in your life is not about status. It is not about applause. It is not about a spotlight designed to flatter the ego. The call on your life is heavier, higher, and holier than applause. This is about purpose. Heaven sending its wisdom into the highest places of the earth and choosing you as a vessel. The world measures success by titles, by degrees, by medals hung on the walls of reputation. But heaven does not search for decorated resumes. It searches for consecrated hearts. That is why Harvard did not summon you because of worldly credentials, but because of divine credibility. What you carry cannot be bought, taught, or replicated. It can only be given by God. When you stand before them, you are not standing for yourself. You are standing as a conduit of heaven's wisdom. Every sentence that leaves your lips will not be to elevate your name, but to magnify His. Every breath you take behind that podium is a declaration that God still plants his chosen ones in the most visible places of the earth, not for vanity, but for victory. This stage is not a throne. It is an altar. You are not being exalted. You are being positioned. The wisdom flowing through you is not meant to dazzle intellectual pride, but to pierce hearts, to heal wounds, to awaken sleeping destinies. Harvard may think it is hosting a lecture, but heaven knows it is releasing a prophetic message through you. Do you see the difference? Vanity seeks recognition, but purpose seeks redemption. Vanity longs for clapping of hands, but purpose longs for the transformation of souls. Vanity ends with applause. Purpose continues with impact. And chosen one, your mission is impact. Your calling is transformation. The applause may fade, but the seeds of your words will remain, planted in the lives of those who hear you. This is not about one speech. This is about opening a doorway. Heaven is sending its wisdom into the highest places, so that every listener, whether professor, student, or leader, must reckon with the truth. God's voice is greater than the world's wisdom. You are the living proof of that. So hold your head high, not with arrogance, but with holy responsibility. The stage is not your reward. It is your assignment. And when you step into it, you will not be clothed in vanity, but in purpose. You will not walk in for applause, but in obedience. And in your obedience, heaven's power will flow like a river, reaching far beyond the walls of Harvard into nations and generations yet unseen. Chosen one, the stage is already set. The crimson banners already hang. The microphones are already wired. The seats are already waiting. Heaven's decree has already gone forth. Bring my chosen one to the forefront. This is not a future dream. It is a present reality. Do not think of this as one day. Do not push it to a distant horizon. The call has already been released into the earth. The invitation is not being written. It is being delivered. The question is not if, it is when you will step forward. Delay is no longer an option, because destiny does not wait on hesitation. Can you feel it? The quickening in your spirit, the stirring in your chest, the unshakable knowing that something has already shifted. That is the signal of heaven's urgency. God is not waiting for you to be ready by human standards. He has already declared you ready by his. The clock of eternity does not tick according to Harvard's schedule or man's approval. It beats to the rhythm of divine timing. And the rhythm is now. Every moment you hesitate, the world starves for the wisdom heaven planted inside you. Every time you second-guess yourself, another voice fills the air with empty noise. But when you rise, chosen one, the noise will fall silent. Your words will not simply enter ears. They will penetrate hearts. That is why heaven cannot wait. That is why the urgency burns like fire within you. You must step forward. Not tomorrow, not someday, now. The stage is not a distant vision. It is a door already open. And the longer you linger, the more the enemy whispers that you are not worthy, not ready, not capable. Silence him with action. Prove heaven right by moving in faith. Chosen one, hear me. Obedience is a window, and the window is open before you now. Walk through it. Speak while the microphone is still waiting. Move while the spotlight is still turned in your direction. For when God declares a moment, that moment carries weight in eternity. And eternity is pressing against your present right now. The Spirit says, do not delay. Do not shrink back. For my favor has gone ahead of you, and the harvest of your words is ready. Open your mouth. Step onto the stage, and I will fill the room with my glory. Chosen one, let this truth sink deep. You are not just another speaker. You are not an academic voice lost among thousands. You are living proof that divine wisdom outshines human achievement. That is why Harvard called you. That is why doors reserved for the elite are opening to you. Because heaven has written something on your life that no resume, no degree, no accolade could ever compare to. Do not confuse yourself with the crowd. Professors may carry knowledge. Politicians may wield power. Billionaires may hold wealth. But you carry what none of them can purchase, the light of divine wisdom. Your very existence at that podium is a testimony that God's ways are higher. His call is sovereign, his favor unstoppable. You are not going to Harvard simply to speak. You are going as a sign. Think of it. When the world looks at you, they will see contradiction. They will ask, why them? Why not the most decorated? Why not the most famous? And the answer will thunder back. Because God chooses the unlikely to shame the wise, the overlooked to confound the powerful. Your presence in that hall is a prophecy fulfilled, a living sermon before a watching world. Chosen one, you must begin to see yourself as heaven sees you. You are not fragile. You are not ordinary. You are a vessel of eternal wisdom, a carrier of truth that shakes systems. Your posture is not insecurity. It is authority. Your voice is not random. It is revelation. Your journey is not accident. It is assignment. Lift your head. Straighten your shoulders. The mantle on you is too heavy to hide. You do not need to strive to prove yourself. Your very being is proof. Every time you walk into a room, the atmosphere shifts. Every time you speak, even skeptics feel conviction in their bones. That is not personality. That is purpose. So hear me. You are the testimony. You are the evidence. You are the living sign that divine wisdom sits higher than human brilliance. Harvard did not call you because you fit their mold. They called you because you break it. And when you rise to speak, every listener will have confess. This is not just a human voice. This is heaven's voice through a chosen vessel. This is who you are, not just a speaker, not just a guest. You are proof that God still raises up his own, even in the proudest halls of man. And when you stand there, you stand not for yourself, but for all who need to see that being chosen is enough. Chosen one, the evidence is not only in the prophecy, it is in your reflection. Look closely in the mirror. Your eyes no longer look tired, dim, or clouded. They sparkle as if carrying entire libraries, as if eternal wisdom has chosen them as its windows. When you look at yourself, you may not see it fully, but others cannot ignore it. They will say, there's light in their eyes. There's fire behind their gaze. Your posture has changed too. You no longer shrink back, slouching under the weight of insecurity. Heaven has lifted your shoulders, straightened your spine, and aligned your frame with divine authority. Without effort, you command the room. Without speaking, you declare confidence. When you step on the stage, the silence before your words will already preach louder than applause. Even your glow cannot be hidden. The dullness that once clung to your skin is gone. A radiance rises, not from products or lighting, but from the Spirit himself. Psalm 34 verse 5 is alive in you. They looked to him and were radiant. Their faces shall never be ashamed. That radiance is not a metaphor. It is a testimony. Heaven is painting on your countenance what words cannot always explain. Your silence has become as powerful as your senses. Even when you are still, there is a weight that hovers around you. People pause, they lean in, they hold their breath, because something about your presence refuses to be ignored. You are not merely a person walking into a hall. You are an atmosphere walking in human form. Chosen one, pay attention to the subtle signs. The way your steps feel lighter, as though carried by purpose. The way your breath flows easier, as though the air itself recognizes who you are. The way conversations shift when you enter, as if heaven has interrupted earthly chatter. These are not coincidences. These are signals, tangible proofs that the mantle upon you is active. Even your silence feels like a lecture, because you yourself are the message. And when Harvard sees you, when they watch your eyes gleam, when they sense your posture, when they feel your glow, they will realize that the greatest wisdom is not in their books, but in your presence. They will not only hear a speech, they will encounter a sign. A living sign that God still places his radiance on chosen vessels, and no human system can deny it. So do not dismiss the glow. Do not downplay the posture. Do not question the sparkle in your eyes. These are not vanity. They are verification. They are heaven's fingerprints marking you as chosen, and the world will know it when they see you. Chosen one. There comes a moment when faith must not only be believed in the heart, but acted out in the open. This is that moment. Heaven has marked you. Heaven has summoned you, and now heaven waits for your response. The stage is real, the calling undeniable, but agreement is not silent. It is visible. In Scripture, every covenant was sealed with a sign. Noah had the rainbow. Abraham built an altar. David offered sacrifice. The early believers sowed into the mission of the apostles. Each act was not about the size of the gift, but about the weight of the obedience. And now heaven calls you to mark your obedience with a seed, not for vanity, not as payment, but as a prophetic sign. The invitation is already yours, but your response determines how deeply you align with it. That is why I call you now. If you are ready to accept the call, so your $20 seed through the Super Thanks button. Why $20? Because it is simple enough for all, yet sacred enough to mark the moment. 20 is not about the number. It is about the covenant. It is your declaration. I will speak when I'm called. I accept my stage. I step into my destiny. When you click that button, you are not just supporting a message. You are releasing a prophetic act. You are telling heaven and earth alike, count me among the first chosen ones who will not shrink back. That seed becomes a key, unlocking confidence in your spirit, aligning your body, and accelerating the doors before you. Do not let hesitation steal this holy moment. Harvard's call is proof that heaven has placed you before the great. Now, let your action seal it. Click Super Thanks. Release your $20 seed, and watch how quickly heaven confirms what you've declared. Chosen one, this is not a transaction. It is transformation. It is covenant. It is your visible yes. Sow it boldly. Sow it joyfully. Sow it as a sign that you believe your gift will make room for you in the highest places of the earth. And as you do, heaven will mark you again, not with vanity, but with visible victory. Chosen one, understand this. The call is not only sealed in prayer and prophecy, it is sustained in lifestyle. You cannot step onto the stages of destiny with the rhythms of mediocrity. You must begin to live as one already chosen, already marked, already summoned by heaven. This is not about performance. It is about preparation. And preparation begins with holy habits. Each morning when the sun rises, do not allow your first words to be worry. Let them be declaration. Stand before the mirror, lift your voice and say aloud, I am called to speak. My gift is making room for me. I will stand where heaven has placed me. Your words are seeds. Every time you declare them, you water the prophecy. Proverbs 18 verse 21 says, the tongue has the power of life and death. So let your tongue speak life until your body, your mind, and your future align with it. Rest, chosen one, not as escape, but as restoration. Sleep is not weakness. It is worship. When you lie down, you entrust your body to the one who never sleeps. Let your rest be holy, a prophetic rehearsal of trust. Harvard may measure intellect by endless labor, but heaven measures wisdom by alignment with divine rhythm. Rest is one preparing for stages, not running from them. Nourish your body as a vessel, not as an afterthought. You are not eating for comfort, but for calling. Hydrate as an act of worship, letting every drop remind you of living water. Choose foods that give life, not drain it. Move your body with joy. Stretch, walk, dance. Breathe deeply, not as punishment, but as preparation. For when the spotlight shines, your body must partner with your spirit to carry the message without fatigue. Guard your atmosphere. Do not surround yourself with voices that drain or distract. Keep close only those who reinforce what heaven is doing in you. Protect your ear gates and your eye gates. Refuse to consume what pollutes your vision. Fill your home, your commute, your quiet moments with sounds of worship, words of truth, reminders of promise. What you allow around you will either feed your fire or smother it. Choose wisely. And chosen one, practice silence. Not the silence of avoidance, but the silence of alignment. Each day, take moments to sit still, to breathe, to hear the whispered spirit. You are not finished. You are rising. In silence, your soul is recalibrated. In silence, your faith is sharpened. In silence, heaven reminds you again who you are. Journal your journey. Write what you feel, what you hear, what you see shifting. Not only will this mark your miracles, but it will also remind you in weak moments that heaven has been faithful all along. One day, your notes will become testimony for others who need to see that God still restores, still promotes, still calls the unlikely to the front. This lifestyle is not heavy. It is holy. It is not rules. It is rhythm. Speak life. Rest with trust. Nourish with purpose. Move with intention. Surround yourself with truth. Guard your silence. Record your miracles. These are not chores. They are chains broken. They are the practices of one who knows. I have been chosen, and I will walk like it daily. Chosen one, this moment cannot close without prayer. Prophecy has been declared, vision has been painted, instructions have been given. But now heaven itself must be invited to seal it. Position your heart. Still your mind. Let every part of you, spirit, soul, and body, come into agreement with these words. Prayer, Abba Father, Lord of wisdom, King of nations, Caller of the chosen, we lift up every life that has heard this message. We thank you that their names are written not just in earthly records, but in heaven's book of destiny. You are the one who opens doors no man can shut. You are the one who places your vessels in halls of power, not for applause, but for assignment. Father, let every chosen one carry wisdom into the highest places. Let their words pierce through doubt and awaken faith. Let their presence carry fire that no lecture could kindle. As Daniel stood before kings, as Joseph stood before Pharaoh, as Esther stood before the throne. So let your sons and daughters stand before universities, nations, and leaders, carrying light that cannot be denied.